This is Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. And today we're going to be talking about a motivational, inspirational topic. Today, I want to talk about individuals in our life that may take us for granted for one reason or the other. And it's very sad. It's very unfortunate that some people really don't realize what they have until you leave their life. And that's just what it is, period. They will never show appreciation because some people think that you will never leave their life, and so many other reasons. But let's get into today's topic. They miss you when they no longer have access to you. And one of the things about all relationships is that people, once they continue to have access to you, they have access to so many things that we're going to talk about today. They really will not appreciate you. People will take you for granted until they find out that it's over, okay? And one of the first things that people won't miss you until they stop having access to your time. Time is a very precious commodity. And once you stop letting yourself be available for them as freely and easily as so many people feel that you're always going to be available to them, then people will continue to take you for granted. So, one of the things that we have to do, motivators family, is not allow ourselves to be freely accessible. You know, your time is precious, your time is important. So, you really do have to prioritize who is truly important to you, who is really showing up for you, and make time for those individuals. Quality time is so important. And if you are taking time out of your busy schedule for certain individuals and they don't care, it's time for you to stop allowing access to you. And it's very hard when it comes to, it could be your children, it could be a relative, it could be anybody. Hi, Sundar. How are you? Welcome. It could be anybody in our life. It could be a child. It could be your romantic interest. It could be a relative. It could be a friend. But sometimes you have to show that your time is precious and important. Okay. Hi, P Land. How are you? Hi, Awang. Welcome. I don't know what the last name, but last name is Channel. How are you guys doing? I am in the United States. So that's one of the things that we really have to pay attention to, how we show up for other people. Everybody doesn't deserve to have access to our time, and our time is important. So let me give you an example of that. Sometimes we will have people in our life that take our precious time for granted. They'll show up late, they will no show on you and just think it's no big deal. It doesn't matter, right? And it doesn't matter until now they have cut got themselves cut off. Now they're really upset, and this is the time where they want to be sorry and they want to apologize to you. That's interesting because, listen, people will only give you what you set the standard. We are the ones that have to set the standard. We are the ones that have to know how we feel. We are the ones that have to set those boundaries and to enforce them. And people aren't going to miss you if you keep allowing them to run over you, if you keep allowing for people to take advantage of you. So show people that your time is important. And I mean in all relationships, with your job, with your friends, with your parents, siblings, your children, anybody in your life. If people are not respectful of your precious time, showing up late for you, not showing up, don't really care how they treat you, it's time for you to stop access to those individuals. And it's easier said than done. And I know that everybody's situation is different. Okay. Hi, Danielle. How are you? I know that everybody is different, but we can't let people treat us in a disrespectful way and continue to allow it. It's one of those things that I know I did that for a very long time. I used to complain all the time about my life and how I was treated, right? And it's not good. If you really don't like the way that you're treated, it's time for you to set some boundaries. Stop accepting their phone calls. Stop answering their text messages. There's things that we can do to show a boundary to people and to show people my time is precious, my time is important, I'm valuable. Okay. And when people realize that they can't run over you and treat you any type of way, they have two choices to make. Either they're going to be on board and make changes, or they're going to do nothing and then they get blocked out of your life. Those are the two choices. And you have to show people some tough love. No matter who they are, you have to show people that I am a person, I know my worth, I'm a valuable person, I love myself, and even if they may not be in the position to love themselves, we are the ones that have to say enough is enough and it's time for them to go. Okay. And the second one, people will miss you when they no longer can get your money. This is a big deal. People will feel that you are a whole bank, that you're whatever bank it is in your local area. There's banks all over the world, but once you stop giving people money, then you really find out who people really are. Once you no longer, either you don't have it or you don't want to give it, or for whatever reason, because I don't know why, but some people, especially relatives, feel like money grows on trees and that just because they ask, you have to always give it to them. And that's just not how it works. It's just not, it doesn't work that way. So you have to let your relatives, you have to let your quote unquote friends, you have to let all of these individuals respect you. And you don't have to volunteer to give people money. That's another thing, motivators family. Stop saying, do you need help? And then later on complaining about it. We're not a bank. This is not the where you go and get a payday loan. And how many times have we heard, oh, I'll pay you back on payday. I'll pay you back on when I get my taxes. I'll pay you back when I'm getting this money from this source or that source. And of course, it doesn't pan out, which it usually doesn't, and they don't pay. Then they start ignoring your calls. Then they start doing so many different things, but it's the truth. We have to stop giving our money away to everybody. And I'll tell you something, that when you start setting boundaries on who you give your money to, and you start thinking about yourself and your goals financially and what you're trying to plan and what you're trying to do, they're going to get angry, really angry, because they no longer have controlling your money. And I will tell you that there's a lot of people that will try to control your money. They would try to count your money. Oh, you have it. You have a good job. You can do this. You can do that. Or they're always like, well, I just want to borrow, right? They always want to borrow and I'll pay you back. And you never get the money back. You never get the money back. You never get the loan back. And it brings a rift between you and that person. So the best thing to do is to not loan money, is to not give money to people unless you have the money to just give them a gift. And that's one of the things that I usually like to do. I give people a gift of some money, and I learned that from one of my special friends, and she taught me that you give people a gift of whatever it is that you can afford. If they're saying they want hundreds of dollars, but you know you can only give them 40 or $50, then you say, here, this is what I can give you. You don't have to pay it back, but I can't give you the rest. See, we can do things like that to help people from time to time. But when it comes to always making people feel like you are a bank and you always have to give them money, and it turns out to be a really big problem with relatives. It could be a problem with your children. Money is a big issue in so many relationships. So it's very important to have conversations about money before it becomes a big problem. And, once you start to get financially literate, once you start to know what you want to do with your money, you definitely have to, um, you definitely have to, oh, thank you so much, Sirius. I appreciate it. Once you start to know who you are and know your worth and what you want to do, when you have your goals, never stop your goals for other people. And that's something that I wish I knew many, many years ago. I wish I knew how to say no when it came to money. You just giving your money out to people and they just keep taking it, and they're always going to apologize, and there's always an excuse why they don't give you the money back, and there's always something, right? They always have something as the reason why that they can't give you the money back. So we have to really pay attention and stop letting people take advantage of us, disrespect us, play games with our mind, and all of those things. Okay. So that's one thing. We're not going to get respect until we stand on that business. Okay. Hey, Sirius, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday to you. Did you hear? Sorry, say talking. Um, yeah, that's one of the things that we definitely have to pay attention to, and that is paying attention to how we allow people to show up in our life. And there's a lot of people who show up in our life and they don't care about us. They're only there for what benefit? What can I get from you? And if you're going to be gullible, if you're going to be, very passive, if you're going to be a person to always give, but you complain about it, but they know you'll complain, but you'll still give it to them, they're going to keep coming back. And that's why I said you have to cut off access of yourself to other people. Yes, I'm amazing too, Sirius. Thank you so much. I'm glad you are too. So that's the thing that is so important, everybody, is people cannot miss you until you cut off the access to whatever it is that you are allowing them to have access to. Now, we just finished talking about the access to your time and also access to your money. Now we need to talk about, people need to miss you when it comes to like the way you support them, because a lot of times we will support people but they are not supporting us back, and that goes to so many different relationships. It goes into your friends, it goes into your relatives, it goes to your job. But if you get to the point where people don't want to give you support, they don't want to give you respect, then don't allow them to keep on. We are the ones that have to stand up and say, no, that's enough. Hi, John. How are you? Welcome. John says, I agree with you. Oh, it must have been a bad comment. Okay. Thank you, Sirius. Okay. So that's one of the things that we have to be so careful about, and we have to be in touch with who we support. Not everybody that we have in our life deserves to have our support. It can't just be a one-sided thing. We have to respect ourselves, And we also have to learn to support ourselves. That's something that was a new thought for me. I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me, but now I get it. And that is, you can't support everybody, because if somebody cannot respect you enough to support you, leave them alone. Okay. And it's so hard because you can care for people, you can love them, but when it's always one-sided, they're always after you. Oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And you'll be over here, you'll be running ragged, you'll be being the best employee, you'll be the best relative, you'll be the best person in a relationship, and you're giving and giving support to all of these, but they're not giving support to you. So that's one of the things, when you find that people are not supporting you, it's time for them to miss you, because until you set that boundary and you say enough is enough, you've asked for the support, you've asked for certain things, and then when you come to the conclusion that they either don't want to give that to you or don't know how to give it to you, it doesn't mean you have to stop and wait for them to mature. You don't have to wait for people to mature. You don't have to wait for people to do the right thing. You don't. So it's time for you to cut those individuals off and to leave them alone. It's time for you to go about your own way. And it's so sad to me that there are so many individuals that don't know a good thing until it's gone. I feel it's so sad. It's pathetic, but it happens every day. People lose out on the best romantic relationship. They lose out on great friendships. They lose out on the best employee because people don't know how to be respectful. People don't know how to be loyal. People don't, in romantic relationships, people don't know how to be loyal. They're cheaters, manipulative, and they only care about their own interests, what they want. Get always out for what can I get, but they never give to you. They don't check in on your mental health. They don't think about, could they ever need a few dollars, instead of me always asking. Now that I have an extra $10 or $20, could I even give some gas money? Could I give something to just say, I just want to give you a little bit to add to your grocery bill money or something, or even to say things like, I'm praying for you. There's a lot of ways that people can show you support. And I wanted to say this to the Motivators family. We're in this new year, and I'm going to keep talking about it until we're at least halfway through the year. We're in a whole new year. 2024 is gone. We're in 2025. We have to stop bringing the bad habits, the painful things that has happened to us in the past, the things that we accepted before, because if it wasn't working then, it won't work now. You sitting and being a kind person, being a good person, being a loyal person, it doesn't mean you should be run over. I want you all to realize that. Being kind and being good doesn't mean be taken advantage of. It means you can be nice and kind to people, but it has limits. I'll be kind, I'll be nice, but when I see that it's only me being nice and kind and you're never nice and kind to me, if the only time that somebody calls you and talks to you is they want something, they want that access to you. Hey, Eastad, how are you? Happy Thursday. They only want access to you. And these are the times where you have to cut those people off. Unfortunately, some people will never learn, no matter how many times you tell people no and you don't like things, but you keep giving them your time. You keep giving them your money. You keep allowing them to treat you disrespectfully. You keep allowing certain things, and until you stop and really show people that you mean something, they're going to continue, especially a job. You can complain about you don't like the pay, you don't like the hours, you don't like the way this person or that person treats you, but until you make a different move, like getting a new job, getting some education. There's always things that we can do to move around to improve our life. There's always things that you can do. See, but other people think that you have no choice but to take it. A job, they definitely take you for granted. Relatives definitely take you for granted. In friendships, people definitely take you for granted. You know, your children, spouse, or significant other, people take one another for granted. But the whole thing about it is, do you speak up with, sincerity, with realness, and say, hey, this is going on and I don't like it. Can you change this? Can you show up for me? Can you do this and this and this? And if you wait a certain period of time and there's no changes that happen, or it's always you that is the person that has to do the nice and the kind and be the loyal person, where they get to do whatever they want and act wild and crazy, and you just have to be the one to take it. Mm-mm. It doesn't work that way. Well, at least they don't think it is. So that's why I wanted to say to you all, sometimes people don't understand how serious you are until you leave their life, until you stop being a friend to them, and until you stop giving them the advice. And they miss that advice. Okay, they miss all of the positive, the motivation, the inspiration that you bring to people's life. And I just don't understand why it is so hard for some people to give you back something positive when you give positive. And I had made a decision years ago that I was no longer going to allow people, if they don't pour into me, you got to go. You cannot be in my life and not be a positive source. You have to be some sort of charge, some sort of elevation in my life. And it does not have to always be a financial thing, but uplifting my mind. There are people who are spiritual people in your life. There's many different friendships and people you can have in your life. You can have your spiritual people. You can have your business people. You can have your social media people. You can have, there's different slices to the pie that can make you whole. But as long as you are getting what you need out of your life, that's what's important. Don't worry about the ones that are acting up and acting crazy. I want to say something. Don't stop being yourself. Never stop being kind. Just change your availability. Stop making yourself available to everyone. That's so important. And I wish that was something that was taught when we were going to school. There's nothing that really teaches you. It's just hard knock life. You learn from your experiences. You learn from, the way people treat you, right? Hey Shay, how are you? Welcome. Happy Thursday. You learn from the way that people treat you. You learn what you like. You learn what you don't like. You learn when you don't like that feeling, And if you feel abandoned by individuals, it won't change. No matter how many times people make an excuse, and right, people will always say, I was busy. Isn't that the common thing that people will say when they don't show up for you in the right way? They were busy. And you're like, wait, so I'm not? There's a lot of people who feel like they are the only ones that have a busy life. Like all you do is sit down and wait for them. All your time is dedicated to them only, and that's so weird to me, that the individuals that are like that, they feel like the whole world revolves around them. Okay, and you can never do better than them. Well, guess what? Just like you met that person, there's tons of people, thousands, if not millions of people out there in this world that will treat you the way that you deserve. Don't let people run over you. Okay? Don't let people talk to you in a disrespectful manner. And I don't care who they are. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. It doesn't matter what you've been through with them. Doesn't matter what they have done for you in the past. It does not give anybody the right to treat you in a disrespectful manner and not show up for you the way you needed need to be shown up for. And that's why I said sometimes you just got to let people miss you. And when you let people miss you, then they'll really know what they had. Have you all ever been through that? Having, being in certain relationships, and in the beginning, I'm not going to lie, it's sad when you have to cut people off. It hurts. Whether it's romantic, whether it's a friendship, whether it's social media, or it's your relative, whoever it is, it hurts to cut people off, but it shows how much you love yourself. It shows how much you respect yourself. It shows that you know your worth. And I want to bring that empowerment and that awareness all the time over here on this channel. Empower yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Respect yourself. Set those boundaries. And while they may not like it, and yeah, in the beginning, it may hurt your heart, it may pain you, but then eventually you get free from it. You stop caring about it. You're like, yeah, now I don't have the mental health issues because of dealing with those people. And I have to say that dealing with certain individuals will cause you to have mental health problems. Like, they bring you so much stress and strain, negativity, drama. Just every time you're around them, they drain you. Those sort of individuals that after you leave from around them, you feel so exhausted. All you want to do is sleep. Hi, Milda. How are you? Welcome. Happy Thursday. Yeah, that's right, Sirius. And there's so many people like that. They feel that they can treat you any way they want to. They feel that they can talk to you anyway. Don't show up, and feel like, oh, you'll always be there. And there are a lot of people like that. They have this like inflated sense of ego and think that they're the best thing in the world. And no, you have value, you have power, and no, and take your power back. Was it Blended Healing? She did a great live stream this morning talking about taking your power back. If you have not watched that, I recommend that you watch it. It was amazing. Sirius says, yes, I have, Marlene. I had to purge for my list of friends and even family. Too much toxicity. It was draining. Yes, and I'm proud of you, Sirius. And I'm proud of everybody who has the courage to let people go. And it's not an easy thing. People think it's easy to cut people off, and it's not. It's not easy to cut people off. It's not. It's one of the most difficult things because your heart is involved, or you've been through certain things, but you can't let people run over you. Hi, Aman. You can't let people run over you. You can't let people treat you any type of way. Don't allow it. Hey, Blaze, how are you doing? Welcome in. Blaze says, peace and blessings. Yes, walking away from someone will hurt, but that person is compromising your peace, then let them go. Yeah, and we have to. If we don't, we'll be sorry, I know how to be accountable for me. I can't be accountable for anybody but myself, and I say the same thing for you all. You have to be accountable for your own self. You have to know how you feel. And if somebody is making you feel like this small, or making you feel like you're the last option, that you always have to wait on them, they never will make a sacrifice to do something nice for you. It's always about you making a sacrifice for them. No, that's not going to work, okay? So stop allowing it. And that's why I said, as this title, they miss you when access stops. You have to stop allowing people to have access to you, access to your mind, access to your heart, access to your money, access to your mental health. So many things is involved in people having access to you, and it affects you from moving in line with your purpose. You cannot move in line with your purpose when you have people in your life dragging you down, keeping you stagnant, okay? Always having negative things to say, or the people who always are complaining about their life, but they're not doing anything to shift and change it. It's like, for real. There's two categories of people: the people who always make excuses, and then there's the people who find out there's something that I need to do and then make an action plan and do it. I cannot deal with people who always make an excuse and complain about their life. Listen, I came from that. I came from being the avid procrastinator, being a person who didn't know how to communicate, but I did something about it. I didn't know how. I got a book. I started working on myself. I put myself in therapy. You have to put in the work into yourself first, motivators, before you can raise your expectation, before you can start living a purposeful life. If you want your life to be on point, if you want to elevate, if you want to change things and shift things in your life, it takes work. Yes. Yes, Aman. Absolutely. True words. Hi, Nadia. How are you? Welcome. Happy Thursday. Hi, lovely Marlene. Yes, some people can treat you like your worth is nothing and it's terrible. Hi, Wellness. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Shout out to my mods holding it down. All those who are content creators, make sure you put a link in here so that people who are in here can connect to your channel. So that's something that is very important for us to realize, that our value is not less. It's just that some people do not value you. Your value isn't less. You're not. Your importance isn't, down here. What it is they don't appreciate you. They think that you're not on to their mind games and manipulation and lies and drama, and they want you to be miserable and stuck like them, right? But don't be. It's one of those things that I had to learn one day. I had to give myself the permission, and I say that to all of my motivators, family. You have to give yourself permission to live your life. You have to give yourself permission to heal from whatever pain, whatever drama, whoever hurt you, whoever did X, Y, and Z. You have to give yourself that permission. And it's not something you learn. And it's very hard to forgive other people, but it's especially hard to forgive yourself for mistakes you made, for the times where you didn't show up for yourself the way that you wanted to, the way that you deserve. But it's okay. It's part of being a human. You forgive yourself. And I said it to myself, I forgive myself for not showing up for myself. I forgive myself for holding on to a person longer than I needed to. Because let me tell you something, you will know when it's your season to close a door. You will know when it's time to shift people out your life. You will know. Let me tell you, because your spirit will tell you, people in your life will tell you that really care about you. Everything will, and they'll start to act up. Have you ever noticed that some people, they automatically start shifting themselves out of your life because they start acting up, they start being disrespectful, and it's just like, okay, goodbye. They make it easy. A lot of people make it easy for you to shut them out. They make it easy for you to close the door because, yeah, because you're like, okay, sometimes you're just like, oh, one more thing. I don't know any of you have ever been on that, like you're right on the edge where you're ready to close the door on somebody and you're like, oh, if they do one more thing. And it does not have to be a big thing either. One more thing, like you're just, oh, if you do, you're walking on thin ice, I'm telling you. And then they do it, and then you're like, okay, goodbye. Blocked, or delete their number, all of those things. Stop going around them, all of it. Even sometimes you have to leave a job, or just because you cannot be around them because their energy is off. And we're just not going to have that. Nadia says some people in a relationship just want to manipulate you. And that's it, Nadia. They want to manipulate you. See, because a lot of people don't think that you have the intelligence, that you have the skill. They feel like they're smarter than you. They know better. Okay, you can never figure it out. They feel like they're the best thing since sliced bread. and you can never have better, and you'll never leave them. You know how some people, they think because of their inflated ego that they have it in the bag. I got you. You know, you're mine. Okay, you're always going to be my friend. You're always going to be in a romantic relationship with me. Oh yeah, you're my sibling. And yeah, while the sibling, the bloodline, from relatives, that can't change. You will always be related to them, but it doesn't mean they have to have access to your time, your money, your energy, and all of those things. There's a lot of things that we can do. Yes. Yes. Blaze says, man, forgiveness can really lift that weight off of your shoulders. Having hate in your heart, wanting and exacting vengeance, trust me, it's not worth carrying that around. Yeah. Let me tell you something. That forgiveness, and I learned a lot of things about forgiveness in 2024 because I went through a really painful um, issue, problem, and two bad relationships. One was romantic and one was friendship. And I had to speak to my own self, and I had to remind myself, if that person does not value me, if that person won't support me or be kind to me, it's time for me to cut off access to them. And I'm telling you, the headache stopped, my sleep improved, my weight started to slim down. There's so much things that happen to us when we keep toxic people in our life, especially people that you know already you can't trust them. Okay, because your spirit, it always tells you that something is sketchy. It's something about that intuition, that gut intuition. You could feel it. You're like, something is not right with them. Something is very shady or weird, and it's just a matter of time. You know, it doesn't matter what a person does in the dark, it always comes to the light. Always, always comes to the light. Always comes to the light. Okay, you can't hide that. I'm serious. I will never be that person again. Yeah. And I'm so glad. I'm so grateful for all of my motivators family. Hey, James Money, how are you? Welcome in. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. And I hope all the motivators family, you all are doing amazing. And I wanted to come on and to do this topic and to say this. Don't be don't be the nice person. And what people want is for you to be nice. They want you to be the yes person, always saying yes, 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 yes. But guess what? The yes person gets a lot of pain and heartache. The yes person gets used. The yes person gets taken advantage of. The yes person gets a lot of emotional pain. Don't stay in relationships longer than you need to. Once you find out that it's not working for you, it's time to go. Bye-bye. Okay? And we give people opportunities, and most of us, we give more chances than we need to, right? You give them another chance, and you forgive them, and they hurt you and they make you sad and they don't show up, and it's just on and on and on. When are you going to stop? It has to come to a point where you have to make people miss you. Okay? You have to make people miss you. If they don't miss you, they're always going to take advantage of you. They will never show up for you. And some people just never should be in your life, period, because they're just no good. I'm not trying to be mean or nasty, but it's the truth. Some people are just no good. They were a manipulator from the beginning. In the beginning, they showed up with manipulation, with using, with control, with jealousy, with something that wasn't right. But it's okay, motivators family, because we learn, we grow, we empower, okay? We improve. And then we're courageous enough to let ourselves start again. And that's a beautiful thing about life, is we have the opportunity. Every day we get a brand new 24 hours, okay? Every day you get a brand new 24 hours to experience life, okay? And don't waste your 24 hours, okay? With people to aggravate you, people that make you sad. I did that for so many years with so many different relationships. And I promised myself, if I don't have peace in my life, if I don't have joy, if somebody is making me withdraw, it's time to subtract them from your life. That's one of the best gifts that you can give yourself, is the freedom of choice, freedom to choose who you allow in your mind, who you allow in your heart. How you let people affect you. And people can affect you in a positive or a negative way. Don't let it be the latter. Okay? Don't let it be the latter. Hi, Metra. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. Places, I can definitely forgive you, but that doesn't mean you're welcome back into my life, especially if you truly cross the line. And there's that, Blaze, right? There's a lot of people, and I had a situation recently where the person was like, you have to forgive me. And I was saying to myself, I already have forgiven you. For me, when I get really upset, my forgiveness is, I forgive you and I didn't go off. Because those who know the old Marlene, when I would go off in the past, break stuff, throw stuff, cuss people out, like, I was cutthroat nasty. But now I've healed. I am mature. Okay? I know my worth and my power. I don't give people that energy and power over me. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? Welcome. Blessings to you. And happy Thursday. So that's one of the things that we definitely have to learn, and we definitely have to understand that we're the one that has to take our power back. We're the one that has to take control over our life, okay? You have that power. You have that choice, okay? You have the choice to heal. You have the choice to grow up. You have the choice to mature. And you have the choice to leave people's life, okay? And like what Blaze was saying, if somebody crossed the line, if somebody truly crossed the line with you, don't let them continue to do it all over again and again and again, because people will continue to use you, to manipulate you, to anger you, as long as you allow it, because they in their mind, they said, well, they let it go, so it must be okay. If you're not doing something to cut it off, to deny access to your mind, to your heart, to your spirit, to your finances, okay, to your time, that means they can do it again. And they're going to keep doing it again until you cut it off. It's one of those things you have to be like, denied access. Don't pick up that phone. Don't feel like you have to answer that phone call, because you don't, okay? You don't have to answer that phone unless you want to, okay? I have a thing where there's certain people who are in my phone, and I put people on timeout in my life, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's some people, I need a break from them for a little while because they've been acting up. And if I feel like it, maybe they'll come back, but there's certain people, they're blacklisted. They can never come back. You have to make a choice based on what people do to you, whether you're going to say, I just need a little time and space to wrap my mind around what happened, to really get to the bottom, like, what role did I play in? Because with everything, we have to be accountable for our own actions, okay? We have to be accountable to ourselves first, but also we have to ask ourselves, what did I allow? There's the part, motivators, family, that we really don't talk about a lot. What did we allow? Did we allow them to take advantage of us? Do we allow them to control us? Did we allow them to get in our head, manipulate our mind, and to make us feel less than, to feel this small? Okay? Whose fault is that? That's ours, okay? It is. That's accountability, okay? We cannot control what they did, but we can control, why didn't we cut them off? Why did we allow it to go on for so long? There's a lot of things that, yes, people do things to us, and I'm never going to negate that. I'm never going to say what they did was right. But at the same time, we have to ask ourselves these questions. Why did I allow it? Why did I stay around so long? Why did I let them talk to me this way? And it's important to ask ourselves why and get to the bottom of it. It's like peeling back an onion, getting underneath all the pain. Why did I allow them to talk to me that way? Why did I allow them to control me? Why did I stay so long? And you would be surprised if you really peel back the onion. It could be some, childhood trauma. It could be some abandonment. It could be you feel like you can't live without them. It's a lot of things that happen, right? Hey, realist, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Thursday. Yes, time out and balance is needed for peace. Yes. Nate says, I don't allow anything but positive vibes, and I've been that way forever. Awesome, Nate. Let's see what I missed. I missed a lot of comments here. Metro says, especially those that cross the line and discriminate, they will pay for their crimes and will no longer have access to our life ever again. Yes. Discrimination is something I wasn't even thinking about. I'm glad you brought that up, Metro, because discrimination is a real thing. It happens on the job. You could be qualified for something, and just because of the color of your skin, you'll get denied certain things. So don't, sit and wait and feel like, oh, I have to stick around. Be around those who support you, those who appreciate you, those who pour into you, those who show you respect and love that you deserve, okay? Don't let them have access to you, okay? Blaze says, exactly. Trust is earned over time, and once it's broken, it'll never be the same. If they truly did something to intentionally hurt or harm you, then the possibility of that happening again exists. And that's what I can't deal with. When somebody was so selfish and they only were thinking about themselves at that moment, like you weren't, like in a romantic relationship. If they were doing all of these things, being selfish, only thinking about themselves, and then later on they want to say, what about us? You weren't thinking about us when you made the decision to waste money, to cheat, to do underhanded, sneaky things. Okay, always choosing to your agendas. Your time was always more important than mine. No, I can't. Hey, realist one in the building. Make sure all my mods, make sure you drop your links to your channels. Metro says 100%. Yes. It's just the hypocrisy for me from folk. Yeah. That's what I don't like that really, realist, but there's nothing you can do about folks that are hypocritical, but you can do something about how you deal with them, okay? Once you find out who somebody is, when that mask drops off, you find out who people really are. Now you have to make a choice to choose yourself, okay? Leave them alone. Yeah, never expect any of this to happen. Yes, but we will be responsible no matter what happens. Yes, and yeah, and there are so many evil individuals. Everybody's going to be held accountable for what they do in the end. No, regardless of what anybody believes, no matter what your belief system is, everybody at the end of the day has to suffer for, their consequences to their actions. Some people suffer right away. Some people suffer for the rest of your life. Okay? It's a choice. And that's why these days I make a choice, even though sometimes when you can get even, okay? And there are a lot of times where you could get even and you could hurt people, but don't choose that path, because you show yourself as no different than anybody else. You show yourself you're just like them. Okay? Don't be like other people. If they want to be grimy and nasty, manipulative, cheating, and no. Keep your mind, your heart, and your spirit pure. Okay? Be yourself. Keep your light bright. Be positive, okay? Be on a high vibration. Let them stay in that negative, that complaining, that drama. Let them stay there. Okay, they can vibrate there. You vibrate higher. Okay. Yes. Some not even worth it. Yeah, there are some people it's not even worth for you to say anything to them. Some people it's just like you're not worth it and you just walk away. And then there's other people that you have to deal with on a regular basis that you just say, I gotta go. Cause I gotta go. I gotta leave you alone. You're welcome, Metro. Yes, it's not worth it. There's so much ungrateful people and they exist and they're everywhere. Okay. Right. Blaze says, none of us are perfect. Lord knows I live in a glass house. But I'll always make an effort to think before I act, especially if the outcome could potentially affect someone I care about. But that's what it is. I don't understand it. People be opening up their mouth, talking about how much they love you, how much they care for you, they rock with you, they support you, they're here for you, and they're talking out two sides of the mouth. And at the same time, they're lying, they're talking about you behind your back, they're cheating, they're lying, they're just not who they say they are. But eventually, like we always talk about, the mask always falls off. You always find out who people really are at the end of the day, because there's a lot of times where you could really get somebody. You can get them right in the gut. You could really shake some people's life. You could really ruin people. But I don't choose to be like that. I choose to be positive. I choose to vibrate higher, because at the end of the day, they gotta suffer. They're the ones that are missing you. You move on with your life. That's the part that people don't understand. Because they didn't know what a good thing they had when they had you as a friend, in a romantic relationship, as a sibling, as a friend, as a whoever you are, as somebody on social media. People don't understand the impact of your life until they no longer have access to you. And then when access is denied, now they want to cry, right? We're going to go through the list. Now they want to cry. Now they're sorry. Now I'll make changes. Now I'll go to therapy. Just give me some time to be who you need me to be. Nobody has time for that. I'm not going to wait for you to mature. I'm not going to wait for you to grow up. I'm not going to wait. And I want that for you all too. Don't wait for people who want to make excuses, because if somebody wanted to do the right thing all along, they would. If somebody wanted to do right by you, they would. There's no excuses. I'm a person who, of course, I know that nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, okay? But at the same time, one thing that I am, and I can stand on that, is I'm loyal. I am a loyal person. I'm loyal to my people. But then when somebody doesn't give me loyalty, I got to go. It's time to go and do the same. If people aren't making you feel good about yourself, if people aren't making you feel good, it's time for you to go, okay? And people will miss you. Trust me, just because you cut them off, it doesn't mean they're not thinking about you. It doesn't mean they're not, it going over and over in their mind. Oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. But it's over. It's too late. Can't have you back, you know? But what people can do is learn a lesson and do better in the next romantic relationship and the next friendship, with the next coworker or whoever it is. You have to give people have a clean break with certain people. And yeah, time for you to go. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and tapping into today's conversation. I enjoyed it. I want to shout out to all of my motivators family, giving you the love, the light, the empowerment. Know your worth, motivators family. Know your worth. Know what you deserve, okay? And you don't deserve to be run over, run through, talked about, stabbed in the back, cheated on, disrespected, used for money, used for your body. No. Okay, we're not doing that in 2025. We're standing on business, we're loving ourselves, and we're only keeping people in our life that treat us with respect, kindness, loyalty, and true support. all of it. If people can't show up for you in the right way, make you feel good, give you back what you're giving to them, deny access. Okay? We're going to do this in 2024. Put up the X's. Denied. Yeah, denied access, okay? Don't let them into your heart. Don't let them take advantage of you. Okay? There's only one you, but you're the one that has to love yourself. You're the one that has to set the standard, okay? Respect thyself. Love yourself, okay? You know what we say over here on Marlene Motivates? Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah, realists, denied access. We're going to do this all 2025. Denied access. Thank you guys. Make sure you check out all my awesome mods. Oh yeah, that's serious. I thought that was realist. Yes, denied access serious. And check out all my amazing mods. Amazing mods and content creators, Realist One, Metro, Sonic, and I think there was a few, Nate the Great podcast, and I think Wellness was Frugal Mama was in here. Check out my amazing mods. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, supporting this channel, and I'll see you guys back on, I think we're going to do Tuesday. So it's going to be a little space, but I am going to tap in with my channel members on Monday. So I'll see you guys. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Shout out to everybody. Keep your head up, Motivators family. Love yourself and deny access. Okay.